We met at the park and I watched him park the car, and then he actually let his dog out to run around the car and sit down and wait for him while he parked the car in these very tight spots. And I noticed his dog first, obviously very well behaved, and he then got out of the car. His dog ran over to mine, this sweet little heart, who just, they've said hi quickly to each other. Jackson and I had a quick exchange, but I was with one of my close friends who was a guy, and I'm assuming he probably thought he was my boyfriend. So we just said, some pleasantries, and then he left and went into this huge park where I would never see him again. And I was walking away, and my friend and I looked at each other like, what just happened? That guy and that dog and the whole interaction. He was like, you have to do something about it. And I said, I'm never gonna see him again. He's long gone. He said, you should leave your number on his car. And I was like, that's so tacky. Fine, I'll do it. And I did, and he called me or texted me a couple hours later, and it took us about 2.5 years to actually get to be, I guess, to start dating, but he was just a dreamboat, and it was a very magical way of meeting with the dogs, and it just kind of, I guess, prefaced what our lives would be like, which was really special. He was so loving and he was incredible all along, but to say those 3 words were, I'm sure, very painful. And I know now, as it's come out, we talk about it a lot, and he knew he loved me very early on, but he just was never comfortable sharing that and expressing it. So I think he was the first one to say it, although both of us loved each other for probably 3 years before we ever did say it, which was a long time into our relationship. But he wrote the most special note to me, and he wrote on the card, I love you, and we were both sobbing reading it. And it was just, like I said, both of us knew very early on, but we both held off a long time to say it. He was, again, a dreamboat, and he recreated our park first meetup. We went to the park to walk the dogs and did a whole loop, and he kept trying to navigate where we were going in the park, and I couldn't understand why. I was like, we're going to the restaurant. I just tried to, we were going to meet friends, so I was trying to be quick with it, and he kept moving me throughout the park, and then we ended up back at his car, and he said he forgot something on his car, and he was fiddling in his pocket, which is how he usually unlocks the door. And I went over, I saw on his car there was a envelope on his windshield, and I was so confused at first because I was like, that's so weird. Did he park like a jerk, or was something must have gone weird that someone left a note on it? And then I started thinking, I was like, that's also weird. I left a note. Did someone see him and think he was handsome like I did and leave a note saying that, they thought he was cute too, which obviously wasn't the case. But I went to the windshield and I pulled up the envelope and I turned it over, and there was a meaningful note that he wrote me a long time ago, and it had a heart on it. And I flipped it over and I saw it. I was still so confused. I had no idea what was coming. And I turned around and he had dropped to one knee. No idea where to begin. He's the most incredible being. He drives me absolutely wild, but makes me the happiest person in the world at the same time. He is the most loyal, faithful human being to all his friends. And he is everyone's biggest cheerleader. He loves so hard, and he is absolutely there for you and everyone really in his life, whatever they need. He is the person that anyone would call, and he just loves so deep. And I would just tell him how much I love him so unconditionally, and that I don't want to cry, but just how much I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with him. And you hear about, these love stories, and I'm just so thankful that I found my person who just makes everything feel right and everything feel like it's come together.